There will be a flood of university and college grads looking to enter the job market. You might have some at home right now in the next few weeks. But for today's hashtag Your Take, we're taking a look at how the job market is changing and how many people are now changing their careers more than once. Lindsey and Ben, I gotta ask you guys, good morning, by the way.
Good morning.
How many jobs have you had, and have they been in the same careers, by the way?
Well, yeah, see, that was the question that I had for you. I have worked for the same company since I first started working really professionally. I had some summer jobs, obviously, and that sort of thing, but I moved to Toronto, I started working for this company, and I've had many jobs within this company. So I think I've had the same career, different jobs within that career, and all with the same company.
Linz, what about you?
I would consider, I mean, I used to do weird things. I was in marketing for a while. I shouldn't say weird things, but just different jobs. I was an actor, I was a temp. I was doing all these sort of things, trying to figure out my pathway. So I have had
Careers.
I have. I wouldn't say career, just jobs.
Just different jobs. But career-wise, it's safe to say
this is the career. This is the career.
But what we're finding is that that's actually changing.
Yeah.
Well, we know the typical route to get a career, to get a job, is to go to post-secondary education. And back in 2015, we did a bit of digging. We found that we're seeing a record amount of students enrolled in Canadian universities and colleges. So more than 2 million students were getting their post-secondary education. Compare that to 1980, when there were less than 1 million students enrolled in post-secondary education.
I also wonder about population growth too, though. I mean, how that comparison works its way into this.
But when you look at the stats, there has been a dramatic increase of people, being sold this bill of basically believing this Canadian dream that you go to college, you go to university, and that will lead to a stable job. But that's not the thing that what we're finding. We're seeing that the job market has actually changed. So the Globe and Mail recently did a study, and almost 1/3 of recent grads are not working in their field of education. They're not working in the career field of choice. Also, more than 21% are working more than one job. So why is this happening? Where is the full-time work? Where is that stable job that many of our parents had or other generations had?
And I would ask the question, what are those numbers for people who didn't pursue post-secondary education? Because I don't know, but I would venture a guess to say that whatever those statistics are, they're worse.
Well, I also think the mentality of getting into the job and career market. I mean, think about our parents' generation, as we've been referring to. When you went into a line of work, you expected to be with the company for 30, 35 years. That's where you would retire from. I think the mentality now is, if I don't like where I'm at, I'm just going to switch it up.
Well, that's what we think, but actually, the stats are showing something different. We're actually seeing a rise in precarious employment. And what that is, the definition is it's poorly paid, unprotected and insecure work. So what are we talking about? We're talking about contract work. We're talking about work that's probably not unionized, there's no benefits, and it's short-term employment. So what do you have to do? Well, you have to find other forms of employment. You have to find a second job. Hence why that stat showed that more graduates are working more than one job. So this precarious employment has actually increased. We actually looked at a study here in the Greater Toronto Area where over the last 20 years, precarious employment has increased over 50%.
Yeah.
Interesting.
50%. So that means full-time work, stable jobs where you can expect to stay with the company for 30 years. That's just not out there for many young people.
Well, you got to think about it from the employer standpoint, right?
Yeah, well, for the employer standpoint, they're looking to save money, cut costs as well. And then I've got to wonder whether that's been leading. It seems to me that in this millennial generation, there's a drive to be the entrepreneur, the one who creates the job, that, so that they can control their own destiny.
Yeah, not sit at a desk and basically create your own hours in your work environment.
Right. Well, that's the thing. When you don't have that employment, you have to kind of create your own. What other option do you have left? So this is our question for our viewers. Listen up, come close. Hashtag Your Take. Use that hashtag. Do you expect to change your career more than once? And if so, how many times? And this will apply not just to young people, but to many people out there who've been laid off. This really affects so many people. So please hit us up on Twitter, Facebook with the hashtag Your Take. We'll be right back after this.